Peace, love, and law to everybody, man. We just want to give a shout out to everybody today and just give thanks for you guys tuning in with us. And welcome to In God We Trust Academy podcast today. As always, it's great to have you guys here with us. Absolutely. We give thanks to all the work that you guys put in, man, to be here with us today, and just know that it's always an exciting time for us. So always an exciting time for us. Age of the Aquarius, right? A lot of information has to be revealed. It is the time of revelation, as they say. Time of revelation. I'm gonna move some stuff around. Give y'all a different view. All right, if you tuned in with us, man, like, share, and subscribe right now. Like, share, and subscribe with us. Make sure y'all locking in, drop some ones. Let me know where y'all listening from tonight. Tonight, the subject is going to be on the sovereign citizen myth, because it's definitely a myth. But we're going to talk about it, though. They like to use this against you guys a lot. Yep. So we're going to make sure that you guys get a better understanding of what it is. New York, New York. New York in the house. What's up, Seth Thomas? How you doing today, brother? Is she making all the moves? I gotta find this song, man. I gotta hit my homeboy up. It is indeed an oxymoron, is it not? So we're gonna talk about, why do they throw this word around so much? Sovereign citizen. Oh, you must be one of those sovereign citizens. Is that even actually a real thing? You know? That's what we want to know tonight. It has no place, right? Maryland in the house. What's up, Maryland? Where else y'all tuning in from? Maryland. Go ahead, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Drop some ones for me. Let me know that you're with me. Hear me loud and clear. Everything's great tonight. Living, breathing, and loving life. Everything's great on my end, man. I have no complaints. Beautiful day. I'm always thankful that I'm able to wake up every day and I don't wake up miserable. I haven't for years. I mean, literally years on top of years. I mean, and no matter the situation, I'm always up and ready to go. I enjoy life. You know, I enjoy the journey, man, and just the hard work and the challenges, and it's all kind of exciting to me. So I have to tell you that much. Been through a lot in my life, and I've never been at a point to where I didn't feel like I couldn't overcome something or get through something or something of that nature, or just, reach goals. Just stay at it. Keep an open mind, man. Keep God first and keep pushing. That's the main thing, That is the main thing. But we'd like to welcome you guys, though, tonight, too, In God We Trust Academy. podcast, right? And we got a few announcements to make to you guys. And we're going to get with you guys on a few things that we got coming up for you guys. Next Saturday. Now, last night, if you was here with us, we spoke on declaration of trust and very much how important it is. We'll probably touch on that a little bit more tonight as well as we talk about sovereign citizen myth, because it is a myth. It does not exist. But it's kind of a form of a derogatory term as they try to throw around. But the declaration of trust class is May the 31st on Saturday, time 3 p.m. Central Time, locations, live stream. Donation is $50. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set up a full trust. It will be an ebook, will come with templates, et cetera, and everything that you need to do it. But we're going to break it all the way down for you. So if there's something that you're interested in, you always want to know how to do a trust, you don't got thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to go to someone to help them, for them to set up a trust for you, and then just hand it to you, and you don't even know what you got. And that happens to a lot of people a lot. So also to you people that got trust and don't know what you got, this would also be a good chance for you to operate within this class to learn what you have and the things that have taken place since you have started a trust, et cetera, right? But that is coming up May 31st. So you can go to www.ingodwetrustacademy.com and you can register. Just look up the search Declaration of Trust and it'll pop up for you. It's $50 and all are welcome. Don't forget, we got a raffle giveaway coming up February the 21st, 2026. It's going to be here in Huntsville, Alabama. And we're going to have a pop-up shop, so vendors are welcome as well. Going to be networking and things of that nature. So anybody that's interested, man, you guys are welcome to come. Also, we're going to be giving away a Toyota Camry, right? So 2026 Toyota Camry. We'll be giving away that day on February 21st, 2026. And then there'll be also 3 cash prizes as well that we're going to give away. And you can enter by giving a $10 donation per ticket. You can buy as many tickets as you like, and you must have a ticket to claim the prize, okay? It's available through any MNRP member, such as myself, and you can go to info.raffle@mnrp.net if you're interested in winning the Toyota Camry 2026, right? Such a grand time for us in a particular matter. Also, In God We Trust Academy has work session days that we do every Monday and Wednesday. Mondays, 11 a.m. Central Time. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. It is free. We teach. We teach a lot. Like I say, there's no gatekeeping here. Whatever we have, we give it. And, hey, let's get to it. And you go and back and put in the work and come back and give us your testimony. You get to ask questions in this work session. So if this is something that you're interested in, do send me a message, etc., and we'll talk about that. What color is the 2026 Toyota? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. Probably be a neutral color, silver or something of that nature, for sure. All right, so also if you got any form of emergency consultations that you want to have with In God We Trust Academy, you can go to ingodwetrustacademy.com. and you can set those up as well. We also have other services, traffic defense services, nonviolent gun charge services, child support defense services, due process violation services, foreclosures, defense services for judicial and non-judicial, and also debt collector and garnishment defense as well, services as well, right? And we also have set up trust services for you. We also have right now a great sale going on. It's the Credit Warfare Bundle. It's 3 classes for the deal of $100. So it's a how to beat third-party debt collectors. You'll learn how to lawfully shut down debt collectors, demand validation, and stop harassment in its tracks. You can also reverse credit denial, turn a no into a yes by challenging the unlawful credit denials and demanding reconsideration under consumer protection laws. And also how to remove anything from your credit report. You can master the legal steps to dispute, delete, and correct your credit profile using the FCRA and the proven strategies as well, okay? And if you're looking for that credit warfare bundle there, you can go to ingodwetrustacademy.com. All right. And that will literally be given to you. So make sure that you put all three of those classes into the cart. I might just make it one where you can just click on one thing, but for the most part right now, click on all three. And at checkout, it will be applied for you. All right. Now, coming up June 20th, right? Something that I'm real excited about, the People's Private Bank. We're going to show you how to turn your goods and services into currency and how to build your own full wealth system. Okay. It'll teach you literally, and this is a form of a trust as well. So it's a private bank trust. And you're gonna take your goods and services, et cetera, turn it into your own currency. You can think of Chuck E. Cheese, right? Because when you walk in Chuck E. Cheese, you got to literally, it used to be called Showbiz back in the day, or the same as you go to Main Event or anything like that. You have to buy their particular credits to issue and play their games, et cetera. Well, it's gonna be the same thing when it comes to you dealing with your products and services, your business, et cetera. So they're going to have to come in and purchase your form of private bank credits or currency, whatever that you may have. And from that point on, they can shop with you with your products, services, et cetera. But it's a certain way that this has to be done and set up. So once we get this set up for you, you can literally be fully tax exempt on every single thing that you do because it's not considered as commercial transactions. It would be considered as private parties, right? It's just a private party, few barter and exchange type of situation. But again, it's still beneficial to you in every single way. And operating in trust will always keep you away from being taxed and levied as well. All right. So keep that in mind. That is on June the 20th, right? You can come in person or live stream. You can go to www.ingodwetrustacademy.com. It's $200 for the live stream and it's $250 to come in person. Just know we're going to have a great and wonderful time. If you've ever been at any of my conferences or classes, yes, it's going to be an overload of information. Yes, I'm going to give it all to you and more. It's going to be a lot, but at the end of the day, hey, my job is just to give it to you. It's up to you to go and do the work. All right. And, you know, I have done this myself, as I showed you guys the last time. I did this with basically a religious organization called Peace of Mind, and we made what we called Peace of Mind dollars, etc. And yeah, so those people in that community have to purchase that particular money to get the product that's going on within the organization, and that's what we use to continue to trade. It's also a great way to help build and fund your system for whatever else and other things that you may want to do too as well. But it's just a great idea to do, and it keeps everybody on the tax exempt level to where you don't have to worry about taxations and stuff like that, right? All right, so make sure you stay in touch with me in God We Trust Academy, YouTube, right? So for those of you on TikTok that's watching right now, you can jump over to YouTube so you can see everything that's going to be going on the screen. But in God We Trust Academy on YouTube and also on Facebook, Eric King Bay, and also in God We Trust Academy, Grand Wazir _MNRP on Instagram. And then either Turban Swag or MNRP 619 2020 on TikTok. And in God We Trust Academy. That's no spaces on Twitch as well. So you can fully follow us there. And again, our website is ingodwetrustacademy.com. All right, so how y'all guys doing out there, man? How y'all doing out there tonight? I know some of y'all up. Some of y'all just got off work. And I told y'all we just not getting back into the midst of things right now. So... And, you know, I'm just trying to get back into the routine. Y'all seeing my face again a lot more than usual, for sure. So we just here working, though. But I will say this, though. Sovereign citizen. Let's talk about the sovereign citizen. First of all, it is an oxymoron because every citizen is under the authority of states. So whatever state, et cetera, they're under the full authority. And you got to realize that, right? And since they're under their authority, that means that makes them subject to the law. Now, The highest authority is the law. That's the number one thing. The law is the highest authority, right? And those who sit in the public seats are able to carry the law and also act as of the law, but they cannot usurp any powers outside of that, right? And that's one of the main things. So when they throw the word sovereign citizen around to you guys, it's really like it's a full oxymoron situation, but they're just trying to say that you're saying that you're above the law. Is what they're saying. Is what they're emulating in this. But they do not have a legal definition for this in any shape, form, or fashion. And, you know, a lot of times now they throw the word around so easy because now it's like even when you're asserting your rights that, oh, you must be a sovereign citizen. Listen, the citizens are not, but the people are. And you have to know who the people are. And it's very distinct in this situation. And I'm glad we get to talk about this even more because a lot of you don't understand that when the Dred Scott case came, they literally said that the white man has no law for the black man has no law for the white man to respect. And that literally means that you were lawless, you were stateless. Is exactly what it meant. And first and foremost, black is just a social construct under the United States. It's not literally a national group of people or a country or anything of that nature as well. It's something that was constructed through the United States. All right, so what they did was they created what they call the 14th Amendment. And this 14th Amendment created what they call a corporate citizen. All right, so I always have to tell people this, right? And this corporate citizen, first, it was applied to black Americans, Negro, you know, the Afro-American, the African-American. This who was it applied for at first, right? But then they also realized that they could stick this to everybody, especially since 1933, when they issued into the centralized banking. And then they decided that they were going to issue this out and make everyone operate as a 14th Amendment citizen, which means a corporate citizen. And that now, instead of you being the people having the right to the Constitution, which you have to understand, Negro, African American, you never had the right. You was only given a privilege. So you gain a privilege through the 14th Amendment, right? And now you have to look at it as, how is it that McDonald's has the same right as you? They saying it can sue and be sued, but it can't be placed into prison, right? That means that they can go do certain things like pharmaceutical drugs could kill people. And then automatically the only thing that happens is they just get sued. They don't go to jail for attempted murder or anything of that nature, right? It does not happen. Okay? These doctors that prescribes, et cetera, has immunities from all kind of stuff, especially just when it comes to the needle going into your arm with substances that are dead, right? When they inject viruses and stuff like that into people just to see if you immune type thing, right? To make you immune as well, to make your body fight to become immune to the situation or whatever the case may be. But my point in me saying this is for you to truly understand, like, that's wild that Burger King, McDonald's, et cetera, all has the same rights, et cetera, everything that you do. And we have to understand that this whole system thing that's going on is only allowed because the people keep allowing it. You guys are not influenced into the law enough and informed into the law enough. And we have to be. If you really want things to change, it's not going to be from a presidential standpoint. The president can't change nothing for you. A mayor cannot change something for you. A city council cannot change, nor can a judge, nor can a police officer, or any one of them. None of them can change it. It takes the people to change it. Now, I asked again once, what is the people? I would say, okay, the people are sovereign. Do the people even understand where their sovereign power stands? This is a question. As the people, where does your sovereign power stand? I'll wait. I got a few people on TikTok. What's y'all answer? And I got some over here in other places. How does the sovereign power of the people, okay, where does it stand? Where is it at? When and where does it exist for you to fully exercise? I'm gonna wait on y'all. Give me an answer. Give me an answer. See what y'all got for me. What y'all answer? Somebody said it's our God-given right. Yeah, but that's not saying anything. You can say, oh, it's our God-given right. But how do you exercise that power, that sovereign power that you're talking about? So how do you exercise that God-given right that you're speaking on? There we go. Catholics Mariah. It is jury. Okay? And the jury trial is where all the right of the people is. Because you're the one that says guilty or not guilty according to the laws. See, you have all the power that is separate from anything else. That's where it happens at. Right? People have the power to consent to be governed or to abolish. That is also true. That is also true. Right? That's also another thing that is absolutely true. And we're gonna get on that too, because I'm definitely on what you're talking about. All right. And it's stated all within the Declaration of Independence of the United States, as well as in all state constitutions that, well, basically the people have the right to abolish or change their form of government as they see fit, expeditiously, right? Expedient. They have that right. That's also a right of the people to consent and to consent to be governed, right? And that right will always exist with you. Okay? So we got to understand that part. All right? So when it comes to the sovereign citizen, though, again, and they use it because you're asserting your rights. It's just a full myth. And then, you know, a lot of people come up with, oh, you can get these passports and you'll get on this do not detain list. Hey, guys, listen, does it say do not detain and all that stuff on their computers and stuff? Yes, it does, but that don't stop them from doing shit. Where, like, it does not. And a lot of people be like, oh, like they get on here and they make these videos. And then these people make these videos about people who are asserting their rights, and they'll be like, oh, this sovereign citizen failed at the task that he was trying to do, asserting his right or whatever, right? Or on the do not detain list or any other thing that they say, right? That, oh, the judge really handed it to him. Bro, again, just because you get your paperwork right, just because you file UCCs, just because you do all of this stuff, it does not make you free from harm and damages. It does not, okay, exempt you from tyranny. It don't. Nobody is exempt from it. So that's why when I see that, I think it's really insane because people just keep continuing to, it's like a joke. But I say that because most people who are laughing and making those type of videos is because they're not the ones that are asserting their rights. They're the ones that's, oh, you should always just comply with what they're saying, right? Just do what they told you to do, even if it goes against your right. And the way I feel today, because they will kill you. That's a fact. We know that. And the main thing is, for me, I always say, hey, man, the goal is to make it home. Go home. And as for me, I don't argue. Have I been arrested before? Yes. I just recently in December the 16th had my truck taken and all kind of stuff. Beat all 3 of the cases easily. And I didn't argue with them. They pulled me over, said what they want to say, said I was acting like a sovereign citizen. They said all that shit. I didn't say nothing. I just, hey, man, whatever y'all feel like y'all need to do it. That's it. I don't have no words to say to you. One, court is not on the side of the road, so there's no reason to argue with these people about whatever. That's stupid. Stop arguing. Your argument is never there. It's not. As a matter of fact, we're not even arguing anything. We have facts and proof. We have truth, proof, and law and relief. That's all I have. I don't have to say anything else. I don't have to answer no freaking questions. Whatever they want to do it. Because the minute they detain you in any shape, form, or fashion, that is considered a form of imprisonment. And you guys got to understand that, right? So if they detained you, they imprisoned you. And automatically everything starts right then and there. And they have to do everything without a reasonable doubt that you are articulating or found doing something wrong in some type of crime. That's a fact. They have to have and know without a doubt that you committed a crime or you are in the act of committing a crime. Without that, well, there you go. And they use the traffic law for this. They consider all traffic law as a form of crime. Like if you break a traffic law, it's considered a crime. And a crime, right? And this is the whole entire part. I literally think that all forms of these traffic laws, if all the people was to take it to trial, and I don't mean to their bench trials, because they'll take you to a bench trial first where the judge has to sit, and that's unconstitutional in the first place, because anything that deals with your rights automatically has to go to a jury trial. If they're trying to take some type of form of right-of-way, property, et cetera, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's supposed to go through a full jury trial, and you should never, ever in your freaking life waive that right. You should have it every single time. And if this was to happen and it was for the jury to decide, which is the people where the power relies, then it's up to you to decide to say, hey, this was unconstitutional. There is no personal injury here. There's no injured party here. There's no witness to say that they were injured in any shape, form, or fashion because somebody ran a light. Did somebody get hurt? No. Was somebody damaged? No. Right? So now in a jury trial, those people get to say, the jury would declare that, well, he's not guilty. There's no injury here. There's no probable cause here. And since it's not, there's no crime here. Simple. But again, you guys just accept going to pay for a freaking ticket. And it happens because you got somewhere else to be. You got somewhere else to go. You don't know anything else about the law. And you're just trying to get up there and get out the way, right? I get it. You know, I know what that looks like. A lot of people are so entertained that they don't have time for anything else, right? Until shit hits the fan, and then you're looking for help. And most of the time, if you go into a lawyer, they're going to charge you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 on certain things, a couple thousand on just a small traffic ticket. So you gotta start getting yourself into what's supposed to be done here, right? You got to. But they'll pull that stuff on you guys on the side of the road, and it's no point. It's no point of talking. Why say anything? Don't ask, what was the crime? Man, who cares? There's nothing to say. Why even argue with this person? It's their duty to make sure that they do everything that they're supposed to. They're supposed to come up and tell you why they're doing such and such. If they don't mention it, then guess what? You get to use that against them in court. The same thing they say to you. Anything you say or do can be used against you in a court of law. Guess what? It's the same damn thing. Anything that they say or do can be used against them in a court of law all day long. It does not exempt them. Right? Somebody's going to say qualified immunities. Guess what? Anytime that they step outside the line of their duties, they lose all immunities. There is no immunities, especially when they do it maliciously, which most of these people do that we get to watch on these particular reels every day. And here's the thing, these cameras is kicking their ass because we got proof. We got proof all day long. And you got so much power, people, that all of this corruption that you're sitting here watching, it's easy for us to sit up here and do quo warrantos against these different departments that are allowing their officers to disobey the law. You can literally, you watched it, you witnessed it firsthand. You see what I'm saying? What they do to one, they do to all. That's another thing that you got in. So what does quo warranto does? It questions the delegation of authority of the actual public servants, or even sometimes could question it of the department or agency or anything of that nature, right? We just get to ask, hey, what delegation of authority do you have to operate in the manner that you're doing? You're usurping powers that you do not have. I witnessed it. And since I got to witness you break the law, then I also am a witness. All of us, if we watch a video right now of police officers breaking the law against somebody, we're all witnesses. Every last one of us. See, that's the power that you have that you don't even understand that you have right now. And a lot of you feel like it's nothing that you can do. Nothing. Oh, we just got to watch. No, it's a lot we can do. But inform yourself, right? Inform yourself with the law, and you can change. You can change so much. Oh, man. It's so much we can do that y'all are falling away from. But as someone said earlier, they said that literally people have the power to consent to be governed or to abolish. And I always tell the Black African American Negro man this, meaning male and female. I always say this. Hey, your downfall is you don't have a government. You're literally, and that will never, and as y'all want to say it, I keep telling y'all, there will never, ever be a Black president. There will never be a Negro African American president. There will never be a president that comes from like a Black man that comes straight out of the United States that's considered his descendants is a Negro, an African American, or just considered to be called Black. I promise you it'll never happen. Never. And you would say, well, Obama, no. Obama was Kenyan American. Total difference. And that's what makes it all different. That's the reason why. As well as the kinship that he has to all other presidents, et cetera, and so on. Because he's like, you got to understand, like, at one point, can you consider your forefathers, George Washington, Negro, man, Black man? How is it George Washington is your forefather? How is Thomas Jefferson your forefather? Explain that. I'll wait, because I know you can't. And it does matter. It matters. Literally, it matters. So, all you got to do is look at all the tyranny that has been caused and going against you from, just off the top of my head, the Tuskegee experiments, all the different shootings that we watched happen in 2014, 15, 16, 17. Definitely through those years, it was terrible, right? All the shootings we watched happened during that time. All of the, just slavery in its own perspective, everything that has happened and transpired, all the different ways that the CIA, the FBI, all these different agencies have created certain things against you. The way they did you with banking, with the redlining, like, it's just a lot. It's just constant. It's a constant thing. So at what point do you abolish that particular government? And guess what? They have to let you, because if they don't, that will be considered what? What amendment would they be breaking if they didn't allow you to abolish it? Or they wanted to say, oh, well, we're not going to respect the government that you have established for yourself as a people. We're still going to make you be a U.S. citizen. Now, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? Somebody tell me. What do that sound like? And it's in their constitution. So what would that sound like? One, that would go against everything that they said in the actual Declaration of Independence. That's one. But what does that sound like? What does it sound like they place you in again? I'm waiting on y'all answer. Let me know something. Let me know y'all answer. Because I want to know. What is your answer? What does that sound like? If they would not allow you, okay, as a group of people who decided to abolish and set up a newfound form of government that benefits yourselves truly, what would that be? Freedom of assembly, that is it. But what would it be if they didn't want to accept what you were doing and still implied and treated you as such, as if you are still considered a U.S. citizen? What would that be? What would they be violating? Let's go. What would they be violating? It's what they created before they did the 14th Amendment, right? It's the 13th Amendment. It would be involuntary servitude, right? How they going to tell you that you don't have the right to self-determination and that you can't be who you are and what you are? That's involuntary servitude. That means they're literally saying that, hey, we're putting you back in slavery and you're going to be a U.S. citizen. You can't change it. We don't allow you. Now that takes away what? The people have the right to what? Govern. The right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Guess what? Only a government can protect that. Social compact. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like, one of the main things that I can show you, and I like to go to Kentucky's because I like the way they say it. They just flat out tell you, like, go to Kentucky Constitution. And when you get to Kentucky's Constitution, it's going to tell you something. And they mean what they say to what. They mean it. Click on those Bill of Rights. And it says, show it to you. Show it to me. So when you click on it, and it should take you to Section 3 of Kentucky in the Bill of Rights. And it says men. When they say men, they're meaning nations of men, meaning male and female, like all nations. Men are equal. No exclusive grant except for public services. Property not to be exempted from taxation, grants revocable, right? That's the name of the section. So it says this, all men, listen what you have to do. When they form a social compact, are equal. So you're not considered equal until you have a social compact, right? That's what that means. And it says, and no grant of exclusive, separate public emoluments or privileges shall be made to any man or set of men except in consideration of public services. So basically what they're saying is the only one that has immunities are those who are in public services of their government, which would be also called the Foreign Sovereign Immunity Act, right? But no property shall be exempt from taxation except as provided in this Constitution, and every grant of a franchise, private or exempted, shall remain subject to revocation, alteration, or amendment. So just in that alone, and they just blatantly just told you, like, hey, unless you as a people do a social construct, a social compact, right? Meaning you got a constitution. You're creating a moral person, a body of politic. Until you do that, you are not equal. That's the whole point of them saying in the Dred Scott case that the black man has no law for the white man to respect because you don't have a social compact. So they had, in order for them to give you some type of respect, they had to create the 14th Amendment to make you a part of it as a person, not the people, but as a person, as an individual, just like the freaking McDonald's. So McDonald's will literally have the same exact right or privilege that you do. And that's terrible. Terrible. Right? It says power inherent in people right to alter, reform, or abolish government. This is section 4 of the Kentucky Constitution. So it says all power is inherent in the people. First and foremost, all people, when you see people, people mean nations. That's what they're talking to nations. People who are in government. It says all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness and protection of property. For the advancement of these ends, they have at all times an inalienable and indefeasible right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may deem proper. See, this is why they want to keep y'all entertained, because if you start studying this and you start understanding this, then hey, a lot is going to change. A lot. A whole lot. It will change for sure. But if you choose to not be obedient to what is going on, you still want to act like this stuff don't matter, man, hey, okay. That means you consent to everything that's going on. You love it. You love it. Right? A lot of people do love it. All men are by nature free and equal and have certain inherent inalienable rights, among which may be reckoned. The first, the right of enjoying, defending their lives and liberty. Second is the worshiping of God and to the dictates of their own consciousness. Third, the right of seeking and pursuing their safety and happiness. The fourth, the right of freely communicating their thoughts and opinions. Fifth, the right of acquiring and protecting property. Sixth, the right of assembling together in a peaceful manner for their common good and of applying to those invested with the power of government for redress of grievance or other proper purposes by petition, address, or remonstrance, right? And the seventh is the right to bear arms in defense of themselves and of the state, subject to the power of the General Assembly to enact laws to prevent persons from carrying concealed weapons. To prevent. Man. And all I'm speaking to you guys is this. First and foremost, they're letting you know that it's the people. But the people is in a construct, in the social compact. Government is the only thing that gets to protect your right to life, liberty, and then your pursuit of happiness. That's it. It's government. That's what protects it. Nothing else, nothing more. So a lot of the stuff that's going on is just is one reason and one thing only, and that means the people need to, one, get back informed into law. How are you a part of something and you don't know shit about it? Not even the slightest thing. I think literally laws should be taught from, it should be constructed through all of education, from kindergarten all the way up, all your whole entire life. It should never cease on being taught, ever. But the fact that it's not being taught and it's just left, that then they'll tell you ignorance of the law is inexcusable, but it's not being taught throughout school of your education at all. It's terrible, because now they expect you to know. And remember, anything that's going on within the United States is automatically under presumption. So it's presumed that you know the law. You're under the presumption that you know the law until you say, I don't understand. And you need to ask certain questions to gain an understanding. But even then, you got to know the law to even ask certain questions to understand how to move. Because otherwise, they're going to throw that word, sovereign citizen. You're a sovereign citizen. Because you guys keep saying, well, we're the people. Okay, well, if you are the people, then act like the people. Because the people is going to know how to assert their law at all times. Is this something that's going to be easy? Nope. It's not. Because the norm is already for you guys to accept any and all things that takes place. Just a bunch of bullshit that happens every day. They want you to take it, take this, take that. That's what they want you to do all day long. And it's crazy. Because that's what we doing. We just taking it. No matter what, we not doing anything else. Appreciate the heart. Thank you. And that's crazy. Because there's so much other stuff that we could be doing than sitting here being struck down on a daily basis. And it's terrible. Right? We can pull up right now. Let's just see. Let's see what we can find. I can literally get on here right now. Go on TikTok. And we can just look up something, right? Let's just see what we got here. I'm gonna look up something. Right now, everybody got boots on the ground. They ain't worried about the law. Where them fans at? That's what we on. No boots. Boots on the ground. Right? That's our situation right now. We dancing out here. Whole bunch of dancing. But there's nobody really like standing out here. A few. We got a few. I'm not going to say like people are not out here doing it, but it's only a few out here that's actually implementing the law. Right? So, I don't know. He going to want to say 6 unlawful tickets.
Come on out here. I'm not stepping on my vehicle. Versus Mims. You have to exit the vehicle anytime a police officer requests you to.
What crime did I commit? Can you guys explain to me?
You're required to exit the vehicle.
Can you explain to me what crime I committed?
He's telling me my car is illegally parked on the side of the road. He's telling me he's going to arrest me if I don't leave.
Get in your car and leave. Otherwise,
are you the supervisor, sir?
Get in the car and leave.
Is my car legally parked?
But are you okay? Like, are you going through something? You want to talk?
I am. I'm going through tyrant syndrome.
Okay.
You have this little tyrant who enforces whatever law she wants.
Driving home, becomes unaware he's about to face a shocking abuse of power. Flashing lights signal a routine traffic stop, but the officer resorts to intimidation and issues 7 fabricated tickets. With a supervisor ignoring the misconduct and a department backing the abuse, they feel invincible. We expose them.
It's okay, right?
Nope, it's against the vehicle traffic law to have markings that says there's police right now.
Oh, just because the stickers are peeled off, but that's the problem because you can still see police on it then.
Yeah.
Oh, it says police interceptor there too. Does that have to come off too, or no?
Well, that's usually the model of the car, but it still has this police on here. And it has blue and red lighting on the front. You can't have that.
But was he using the lighting or no?
For some unknown reason, inquiring if the driver had truly activated the blue lights sent Trooper Tiana into a complete frenzy.
But was he using the lighting or no?
Again, like I said, this traffic stop doesn't concern you, first of all. Second of all,
No, I'm a citizen that's just asking questions, so I just,
the ability to have them on there, right? So
what do you mean, ability?
It's leading it as a police car when it's no longer a police car.
Yeah, but as long as you're not using the lights.
Again, like I said, I'm not going to. If you have more questions, we can go talk to my barrack. I'd gladly meet you down there.
Who's the supervisor?
We can go over the law and talk about it over there.
Who's the supervisor?
Joseph Lucarelli.
Does he have a phone number or no?
Nope, you can go right down there. We'll see you.
So,
you have nothing to do with this, right?
Oh yeah, I have 100% to do it. I'm a citizen that's trying to protect somebody's rights.
Okay, that's fine.
And I understand the law. I know that as long as the lights aren't on.
You have the issue.
Initially, the officer appears calm, but when the driver questions him, his tone turns aggressive. He isn't enforcing the law, he's punishing defiance. The driver's courage to speak up comes with a price.
Where are you coming from?
I don't have to tell you.
Okay, where are you going?
I don't have to tell you.
Back to your shop?
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, you do kind of have to tell me, right?
No, I don't have to freaking tell you guys.
Okay, but you're using a dealer plate, so I want to make sure you're using it for proper reasons.
You don't have to know that either. No. Supreme
Okay.
Court made a ruling too. You can use a dealer plate wherever you want.
Let's grab your driver's license and registration card. Why are you shaking so much?
Because this shit pisses me off. You guys do this shit all the time.
Well, follow the law. You wouldn't get stopped, right?
I do follow law. You guys don't.
You just turned around.
That's
you made
my
a U-turn.
legal reason, and I did that purposely. I did that purposely.
You made a purposely
It is
illegal
not
U-turn?
an illegal U-turn. What
It's
makes
not
it
illegal?
illegal? What makes it illegal?
Okay, first of all, it's a divided highway. You can't make a U-turn right there at all.
I can't make a U-turn in the middle of a road.
You did it to avoid our checkpoint that we have going on
I
right
did
there.
it.
Come on out here.
I'm not stepping on my.
All right, so first and foremost, if they do have a checkpoint, you can turn. It's not a problem. You can change lanes, turn around, do whatever needs to be done. Or you can just park the car. And you can get out and you can start walking. You can wait till they're done with their checkpoint if they're gonna get you for a U-turn, right? Whatever the case may be. But just something that's this simple, right? Again, man, they're always asking for certain things. They want to know, do you got this or do you got that? And I think this guy was given 6 tickets for whatever reason. And first and foremost, when they said, "Oh, it's not your business," yes, it is. If you are considered the people, or part of the people, then again, remember, it's you're in a social compact. So if they harm one, they harm all. If they're doing something illegal against one, they're literally doing the same to you in the same manner because you're watching them break the law. Remember, this is part of the public trust. So what they took an oath to was not just the oath to that particular citizen. No, it was to all the citizens of the state, citizens of the United States of America, etc. So what that literally means is if you're doing it to them, you're doing it to me. And that means that I do have the right to know what's going on. I don't have to interfere. But again, it's just to me, that's just too much talking, though. I already told y'all. I'm going to say, my line is always do what you feel you got to do. Just know that anything that you say or do can and will be used against you in a court of law. I tell them the same exact thing that they tell me. That's exactly what I say. So whatever y'all doing, whatever you're going to do, it's going to cost you. Right? It's going to cost you. And they will do it. They will do it. They will cause harm. But my point is, we can just sit here and watch all these different ones right now, all these different reels about all these different officers. Where now that makes you a witness to a crime. Right? It makes all of us a witness. Now we all got the right to do a check the delegation of authority, right? Thanks for the heart puff. Now we all got the right, to question this. We could literally issue a whole court warrant against the department and the officer as well, and say, hey, we watched this individual cause harm. We watched this individual break the law. We watched this individual usurp powers when he took an oath to the people, right? It took an oath to the people. So since you took an oath to the people, and if we watch you violate that oath, even if it ain't got nothing to do with personally me, which it really does because it was an oath to the people. So we watched you violate another citizen, and that also affects us. But I don't think people get that part, right? That's just like in Alabama, police department, they literally were in there taking and selling drugs, pretty much, going in the evidence room. This happens more than one place, man. This happens literally in a lot of different places. I'm trying to find another one that I can show you guys that we can just talk on. that we can show you guys because it happens. And they think that they are exempt from corruption. Let's see, I think this one might be a good one.
Case where there was a frame-by-frame shot of his body.
That's 10 minutes. I ain't trying to spend 10 minutes on that. 10 minutes. Tyrant female cop. Let's see what she got going on.
I need your license, proof of insurance, and registration.
What's the reason for the stop?
Your speed.
How did you calculate my speed?
I was doing 42 and a 35.
I didn't pass you. I was.
Sure did. You got next to me. I hit my brakes to get behind you, and then you slammed on your brakes.
And how fast were you driving?
It doesn't matter. Give me your license, insurance, and registration.
How fast were you driving? I don't understand why I'm being stopped. How did you calculate my speed? You weren't pacing me. For some apparent reason, you slammed on your brakes, and I did too to figure out what was going on. And you were hauling ass.
Oh, how come you caught up to me?
You slammed on the brakes. How fast was I driving?
At least 45.
How did you calculate it?
I don't have to give you an exact speed,
At
sir.
least 45 is not an answer. Why don't you tell me, is this a lawful stop?
Yes, it absolutely is. License and get out of the vehicle. You're being detained.
For what? What am I being detained for?
I need your license, proof of insurance, and registration.
All right. Now, just in that alone, let's talk about that, right? Because I'm finna, this is too easy to break down.
What's the reason for the stop?
Okay, she said she needs the license, insurance, license and insurance, right? And she said, he said,
how did you calculate my speed?
I was doing. I need your license, proof of insurance, and registration.
What's the reason for the stop?
Your speed.
How did you calculate my speed?
He said, what's the reason for the stop? She said, your speed. Now, listen to what she said right after this.
I was doing 42 and
she said, I was doing 42 and a 35. So she admits that she's speeding with no emergency herself. Watch this.
35.
I didn't pass you. I was.
Sure did.
You got, I didn't pass you, right?
Next to me, I hit my brakes to get behind you, and then you slammed on your brakes.
And how fast were you driving?
It doesn't matter. Give me your license.
And he asked her how fast was she was driving, and she said, it doesn't matter. Give me your license and insurance, right? So listen to this, right? First of all, she has no way to prove how fast this individual is going. None whatsoever. So there's no evidence here for her, right? No evidence. There's no evidence.
Insurance and registration.
How fast were you driving? I don't understand why I'm being stopped. How did you calculate my speed? You weren't pacing me. For some apparent reason, you slammed on your brakes, and I did too to figure out what was going on. And you were hauling ass.
Oh, how come you caught up to me?
You slammed on the brakes. How fast was I driving?
At least 45.
How did you calculate it?
I don't have to give you an exact.
So he asked her, how did she calculate? And she said, I don't have to give you that answer. The truth is, if you didn't do it by the speed gun, and then even the speed gun has to show that it has been calibrated, et cetera, like it's supposed to on a daily basis. When was the last time it was calibrated? We can do so much with that just alone, right? But just with what she's saying, she's wrong, right?
At least 45 is not an answer. Why don't you tell me, is this a lawful stop?
Yes, it absolutely is.
She said it's a lawful stop, right? All right.
License and get out of the vehicle. You're being detained.
Now he got to get out the vehicle and you're being detained. No, he was already detained when you stopped him. That is detainment. Anytime that you're not moving against your own free will, it is considered to be detained. All right. Y'all got to know that. Don't just let them up and say, oh, you're detained when they say it out their mouth. No, you're detained when they stop you for any particular reason against your own free will. It's detained, which also means it's a form of imprisonment. You don't have to be in jail to be in prison. You don't have to be in handcuffs to be in the form of an imprisonment. This is a form of imprisonment right now. Now, the only thing we have to do now is articulate, is it false? And well, we know it's false because she has no evidence without a reasonable doubt proving that they were committing a form of a crime.
For what? What am I being detained for?
I need your license.
Right? So we just killed that. She's stupid. I don't even know what she was thinking about. That was just retarded. Right? Man, these people, boy, they be on edge, man.
Becomes much more aggressive as
He's right here.
All right. Police officers in the U.S., including in Florida, operate under the legal standard of reasonable suspicion when they perform a so-called stop and frisk. This means they need to have a reasonable suspicion that someone is involved in criminal activity to stop them. Once the man clarified and showed that the object was a medicinal aid, the officer's initial reasonable suspicion should have been dispelled. It seems that Mr. Hodges is aware of this, which is why he's asking for a supervisor. But wait till you hear what the supervisor has to say.
Sir, what's the stop you for? For a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay?
Now she's asking me for ID.
Okay.
I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime.
Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID.
Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem.
Do you have your ID or not?
I do have my ID, but you don't need it.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Hodges knows his rights. In Florida, people are only required by law to show police officers their ID when they are stopped on suspicion of a crime, but the worst is yet to come.
Where's your ID?
In my pocket.
Which pocket?
You are not allowed to search me.
$2540.
Sir, are you legally blind? Yes, I am.
All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number. You know what? Put him in jail for resisting.
He's right here.
All right.
Police officers in the U.S.
So, all because he said, you see how mad they get? This shit funny, man. Like, for real, like, she said, see, no, they realize they have to let him go, right? Your live is flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviors. How? So I got flagged for us listening. Anyway, that means there has to be some type of police officer or somebody that was just watching us. I can't help but y'all do stupid shit. Like, for real. That was just stupid. But anyway, so this dude had a walking stick, which he's declared legally blind, and was walking on his way, was stopped because someone said, or she felt like I guess she was driving by and felt like he was armed with something. Right? And the thing is this. And this for you, Bronco Fett. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. You can't even find the definition in law, first and foremost. The situation with this is this, though. Like, they just pulled up on him. And this is why I say it's no reason to argue. Like, don't argue with these people, yo. Let them do whatever they want to do. The only thing he needed to realize was, one, they pulled up on him. And they can't prove that, like he said, that either he committed a crime or he was about to commit a crime. You can have any weapon you want. You got the right to bear arms. Nobody can ever take that away from you. They have to prove willful intent of you going to cause harm, or you were in the act of causing harm, or if you already caused harm to somebody with whatever that you're bearing arms with. Then they have to prove it that it was an outside of self-defense type situation. Stuff like that, right? So there was no reason for them to stop this guy. None whatsoever. But they did. And since they stopped this guy, then now he's in the form of detainment. Right? Now, all he had to understand is if they let him go, bro, you got a case. Because everything they did was maliciously, right? You got a full case right now. It's false imprisonment. They detained you without any form of articulated crime at all. If they stop you and let you go at any time, people, you got to understand your time is your private property, for one, right? They took away a right from you that you do have a right to. And the only way a right can be taken away from you is if based upon you have committed a form of a crime. Well, They didn't find anything. And then they tried to say he resisted arrest. How did he resist arrest? And he literally just put his hands right behind his back. You see what I'm saying? Hey, Hutch, they got the right one. Because I do know the law. We can sit here and talk about it all day. And we've won many cases. And going to keep on winning them. Because I don't go by theories. I just strictly use the law and just exactly what it says. And that's all you have to do. That's why I don't argue with them. It was no point to say, oh, well, no, you can't see my ID. Only thing you have to do is ask them, okay, am I being detained? Right? And will I go to jail if I don't show you my ID? Right? Now you under coercion, duress and coercion. Simple questions. You don't got to argue with them. Just say, okay, show them the ID. Let them do whatever they're going to do from that point forward. Just let them know, hey, anything that you say or do will be used against you in the court of law. Simple. You can say court of law and equity, for that matter, and just be done with it. But all the arguing and going on, like, who cares, yo? Let them do what they feel like they're going to do. You just need to pay attention to what's happening to you, what's going on around you. Because now, as soon as they put the handcuffs on him, that means that he's in a form of imprisonment. Now, the fact that they had to take the handcuffs off of him and let him go home, that was false imprisonment all day long. All day long. And the guy got mad because he asked for the badge numbers. Yeah, he said, it's going to be hard. She said, was it hard? Well, it's going to be hard for you. So he asked for the badge number. He said, well, just lock him up for resisting arrest. Wait, he never resisted. Watch. Y'all tell me that this man resisted arrest.
Yes, including in aid, the officer's initial...
Look how they make up shit.
What's the stop? And committing a crime or about to do a crime.
Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID.
Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem.
You have your ID or not?
I do have my ID, but you don't need it.
Okay. Okay.
Now, look, did he resist? He literally put his hands behind his back. He didn't move. He ain't done nothing else, bro.
Mr. Hodges knows his rights. In Florida...
So just like that, he did not move. He just put his arm behind his back. They put the handcuffs on him. And then the last thing they're going to say is this.
Sir, you legally blind? Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's going to be. I want your name and your badge number. You know what? Put him in jail for resisting.
You know what? Put him in jail for resisting. You see that? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, this is so crazy. It's, man. That's wild. And we all, and I'm saying, y'all on TikTok, go follow me on In God We Trust Academy on YouTube, and you can be able to see the screen and everything I'm doing. Otherwise, you just got to look at me, because TikTok be hate when I do stuff like this. I already just got flagged just for talking, so if I was showing it to you, they'll really be hating. So, yeah, follow me on YouTube, In God We Trust Academy. All right? And so we're live right now, so you can pop up and see everything. Somebody said, I'm asking questions and you're not answering. What are you asking me? You have the right to bear arms even when you are a felon. Yes. Was that under duress? Yes. That's what that means. You always have a right to bear arms. But see that, and the thing about it is, when you're a felon, it doesn't matter. They still have to prove willful intent to go and cause harm. Willful intent. Anything that takes away, because see, most felons don't understand this. If they under a felony and it says in some type of whatever that they're not supposed to be around some form of guns, et cetera, and all of that, then the only reason that gets to stick is because they don't go and rebut that. They don't put the right motions in the case to get rid of that. Because, again, that literally takes away a right, a God-given right, an inalienable right that is protected by the Constitution, which is the Second Amendment, right? So that means that would make that particular contract that they are under null and void because it violates a right. It violates the Constitution. No state can create any laws, right, impairing the obligation of contract. Well, the first contract is the Constitution, first and foremost. which is also a form of a trust indenture. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. But anyway, like I was saying though, when it comes to this, he did not resist arrest at all. He just literally put his hand behind his back, and that was it. And everything went left from there. And I think that he's just said, well, just put him in jail for resisting arrest. That's insane. And we all just was a witness to them usurping powers that they do not have. Just like he said that, hey, once she came over and she identified that this is not a weapon, then there's no crime. She has no reasonable, right? She has no reasonable right to articulate anything because it does not exist now. So should he have to identify himself in any shape, form, or fashion now? No, because there's not a probable cause here. Once the probable cause has been defeated by them proving that there was no what? There was no actual weapon. And then even then, they have the right to bear arms. The individual will still have to prove that he was willfully going to go and harm someone in the court of law. They would have to prove that. And if they can't prove that, then they're still wrong. Well, I tell you, that's two. That's two. Oh, here go the other part. Let's see what the rest of it say.
Can I go or not?
Yeah, get the hell out.
Thank you.
See you later. Get back in your car right now. I'm telling you right now, get back in your car.
Oh, you're gonna fucking shoot me?
You come out of your car in a traffic stop, obviously it's a dangerous situation. Get back in your car.
Settle down. If you can't handle the
Get
job,
back
go
in your
work at
goddamn car.
McDonald's.
License, registration, and insurance.
What'd you stop me for?
License, registration,
What'd you stop me
and
for?
insurance.
What'd you stop me for?
License.
Reason for the stop.
You'll find out as soon as I have your information.
Supervisor.
You'll find out as soon as I have your information.
And I'll give you it as soon as I get a supervisor.
So you're failing to identify yourself at a traffic stop.
I'm not failing to identify at a traffic stop.
Okay.
This guy's got an attitude, man.
Are you from New York?
Yeah. He's got an attitude, and he wants to jump out of the car like he's king shit.
Well, no, we got this area blocked out for a reason.
I get it.
Hey, they wild. That wasn't pretty much about nothing. But anyway, he needed to articulate a crime. Can they articulate a crime? And guess what? For the most part, they never freaking can for some reason. For some reason, they just can't do it. They always just pop up and just say stuff. But this is why I say, guys, hey, you just keep up with what's going on. You ain't got to ask no questions. If they don't tell you what the crime was, what you committed, what you did, what you didn't do, whatever, if they don't say it, hey, you just make note of it, that it was never articulated, ever. They can never tell you the law that you broken or whatever. If they made it up, it's on their camera. We can do a motion for production in our discovery to make sure that we get all of the cameras, get all of the paperwork, et cetera, that's involved, and any past history of this individual as well. We also want that. Yeah. We want it all. But I think it's crazy, though, that this is what this has come to, right? But this happens because we the people, no matter what group of people or national people that you are, wherever country that you are in, it's the law itself. If you don't know it, and I always say the only people that deserve justice is those who are willing to carry the law. If you're not willing to carry the law, then justice is not yours, ever. Ever. If you have to go to an attorney to be able to assert your rights, justice don't belong to you. You will plead to whatever they want you to. And that's a fact. All right? You will plead. You will. But I always say, though, don't do anything that's going to incriminate yourself. Shut up. Don't say nothing. You don't have to do anything. They ask you for anything. Most things have to come with an actual search warrant in the first place. Yep, they have to come with a search warrant. They also, no search warrant violations, that happens a lot. They just walk up into your house and think they own you. You're going to do what we tell you to do. It's our home, right?
These cops showed up on this family's doorstep without a warrant, and in a massive violation of the Fourth Amendment. They stepped right into the folks' home and refused to leave. But these cops are about to finally get what they deserve.
We have a trespass going on. This is the trespasser.
I need you to step outside my house.
We've asked you more than once.
I'm not going to ask anymore.
We came over here to talk to you.
Okay, I understand that. I need you to step outside my house. You don't have a right to walk into my house. You don't have a right to do that. No, you do not. Please step out of my house.
I'm not going to step out of your house.
I don't want my rights violated. You don't have the right. You violated my rights. It's not my take.
You're in violation, man.
Well, then I guess you're going to sue me, right?
No, I'm going to make sure you go to jail and lose that badge.
I guess you're going to maybe go to jail. You got to allow us to do what we think is right.
What you think is right.
And just and safe.
What do you mean? I don't.
I'm going to detain everyone in here.
You got to have a warrant. You got to have a warrant.
You don't get to tell me what you want to do with my house.
Get your ass out this month. You better back the up. Get your ass out. I don't want to hear that bullshit.
These cops showed up on this family's doorstep without a warrant.
To do what we think is right. That's what he said. You got to allow us to do what we think is right. They're already in your house. There's no search warrant. Then he knows he's in. No, I do have a right to be in your home. I have a right. No, you don't. And you know that you don't have that right at all. So anything that they do, I don't care if they went upstairs and found 15 kilos of cocaine. It's inadmissible evidence, part of the fruit of the poisonous tree. They violated a right. It's over. It's over. It wouldn't matter. They have to have a search warrant. They said, we came over to talk to you. In my house? They already asked you to get out their house? You busted into the house? Just walked in. Just didn't even give a damn.
These cops showed up at a guy's door with no warrant, and when he opened up, one placed his foot in the doorway, carelessly violating his Fourth Amendment rights. But when the guy slowly tried to close the door, these goons took it to a place of violence.
I ain't gotta talk to you. Get away from my house. I'll film it. And record this. He ain't got no. Get away from my door. Back up. You don't got no right to be here.
He's not in the house. Let us come inside.
Yeah, we ain't got no. You and you ain't coming in. Bitch.
You can yell, you can scream,
I don't give a fuck. You ain't coming in.
That's fine. What I'm telling you is we're not leaving.
What precisely is it you're waiting for?
Fuck that. You're gonna make yourself look dumb is what you're about to do.
Okay.
Coming right now.
Get a warrant. Why are you holding? I'm shutting my door. Do you have a warrant?
If you hit him, you're going to jail.
I'm not going to hit him.
He needs to get out of the way. Why is he not getting off our property?
Do you have a warrant to enter my property?
I'm looking for somebody with a felony warrant.
Do you have a warrant to enter my property?
No, if he's not here, you guys shouldn't have a problem with us.
It doesn't matter. I still have a right. You're holding my door open with no warrant.
We're not touching.
Okay, I'm going to shut it. See you guys in a little bit when you figure this out, all right?
Move out the way.
Oh, hey!
Hey, get on film!
These cops
He shows up to the house looking for somebody that has a felony warrant, and they still don't have the warrant in their hand. So even if the person that they're looking for was there and they don't have the actual warrant present, just say, hey, where's the warrant? The warrant needs to be present. And if the warrant is not present here, right now on the scene, when requested, then you don't have a right to be here at all. And anything that you do, well, again, can and will be used against you in a court of law. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. He stuck his foot in the door. As soon as he placed his foot in the door, it's over. You know what I would do in this situation is ask for the supervisor and continue recording. Man, listen, supervisor or not, I don't care. I ain't calling no damn supervisor. I'm telling you, like, it does not matter. Like, none of that matters. You can call the supervisor to listen, because if you know the law and you know what's going on, just know you got a lawsuit. You got to win. Seriously. And I mean that. Like I'm telling y'all, the same situation that happened with myself, right? December the 16th. I'm driving over in Huntsville, Alabama on Oakwood, and I get to the place to where this lounge called, I think it's called Black or something like that. But I'm making a left turn, and I have to sit there. I have to come to a complete stop. I was already sitting there, and the light was flashing yellow, and it was raining that day, right? Well, this car decides that it's going to try to beat the light. And so I'm turning, but it boom punches it, right? So I stopped in the middle of the street to keep it from hitting me. I let it go by, then I went on a turn. Mind you, it's an officer that just whipped up behind me, right? And so he's still sitting there. I'm parked at the lounge now. And then finally they just come around and they pull up. And then once they pull up, they turn on their lights. He walks up to me and said, "Whoa, man, everything's all right. You almost got hit back there." And I was like, almost doesn't count. For one, there's nobody injured. We're okay. We're fine. They were just trying to beat the lights, and that was it. So he was just like, okay, well, can I see your license and everything? And I was like, bro, we're parked, and you pulled up on us while we were parked. But if you choose to, that's whatever you feel like. I don't have a driver's license for one. So I just gave him my passport. Gave him my passport. They looked at my tag. Tag looks something like this. They want to ask him freaking questions. I don't got no questions for you, man. Whatever y'all feel like y'all need to do, y'all do it tonight. And that was it. I don't have anything else to say. Nothing. Not a thing. So they went on and said, well, since you don't have driver's license, et cetera, then we got the right to tow your car. I said, yeah. I said, we're on private property now. Have they told you guys to tow my car? Oh, no, but you guys don't have I said, you know what? Just do what you feel like you need to do. It's nothing else for me to say because I'm calculating in my head all the violations they're doing right now, and I'm just laughing. You know, and one guy told me, yeah, I know people like you. I'm used to work in Florida, and he tells me, like, what you're doing, it never works. I said, okay. Your opinion. No, I'm serious, man. People that does this, they don't win it. Well, first thing I do is I get home the same exact day. For those of you that are watching right now, you can go to In God We Trust Academy, and you can go watch that on YouTube and on my Facebook, and it says they stole my truck. You can literally watch that. And what I did was I put together my motions and everything like that, and I sent them off the next day. The tickets ain't even had time to even hit in they courtroom yet, to the clerk of court. They ain't even had time to make it to them yet, right, to be filed. So I sent that in. Mind you, there was already an error in the actual tickets in the first place, but once I sent those things in and I had to go to court, I get to court, and, well, the judge says, well, we're going to dismiss 2 of these tickets. And they wanted to get me for the registration of the tag. And I said, well, no, I'm going to take this to trial is what I'm going to do. And I prefer a jury trial, which this court does not have the right to give. I do not want to consent to a bench trial because it's dealing with my rights. He just looked up at me. He kind of like just smiled, and I was like, yeah, this is a violation of due process of law that has taken place. And since you have gotten rid of the probable cause that you dismissed, this is now part of the fruit of the poisonous tree. Everything else is to be dismissed as well. And he said, all right, Mr. Ingram, we'll just go ahead and take it to trial. They sit there and they put it up to take it to trial, and I went back home and I did a motion to dismiss based upon the fruit of the poisonous tree because you've already dismissed the probable cause based upon error. And yeah, so I had to go to court next day, or at the next time, which was about 2 or 3 weeks later or whatever. I get to court and, well, the officer didn't show, which is one of their tactics to do to make it look like, you know, they don't want to go through the whole entire situation. So I remember they had like all these different people that's acting like prosecutors. They all huddle up. They're calling people's name. They finally call my name. The lady wants to take me to the back. We walk outside. She said, well, how do you want to deal with this? Do you want to pay for this? I said, I'm not paying for this. I said, you already got rid of the probable cause. Everything, what you're talking about right now is fruit of the poisonous tree. This should have been dismissed as well, too. She said, oh, it says dismissed on here. And I said, yeah, the other ones were. We're wanting this to be dismissed as well, too. So she walks up there. She places the documents, the stuff that she had. And then they come back with all my documents that I had filed in there, right? No, they ain't read none of them. I know they ain't. Maybe a few. They actually just started reading them, whatever the case may be. So she says, we're going to try to see if we can call the officer to get here. I said, no, ma'am. If the officer is not here now, this case needs to be dismissed for lack of evidence for prosecution. I said, because if I wasn't here today, then you would try to issue a warrant for my arrest, right? They just looked at me. The officer wasn't coming that way. You told him, you made sure that he wasn't coming. That's what I do know. But anyway, so the judge looks at me and said, all right, Mr. Ingram, we're going to dismiss this case. Well, guess what? By them dismissing that case, that means that everything that they done on December the 16th was a violation of law, which means also it's a form of malicious prosecution and they should be sued. Well, I get together my information, which I'm still not letting this go. I still got other stuff that I'm going to put on them because I put in the Freedom of Information Act. Mind you, in the case now, here's another thing. In the case, I did a motion for production because I wanted the body cams. I wanted everything. I wanted all the information about the accounting of the actual case. I wanted to be able to see any form of bonds that's been filed or whatever the case may be. I need to know everything, right? I needed to see it all. Anybody that's involved in the case, I wanted to make sure that they were legally operating in their capacity by oath, bond, all of that. I need to see it to make sure that I can hold all parties liable. And all parties in here has a surety, which means they have to be bonded. So if the prosecutor in here, he ain't bonded, he can't be here. The judge in here, he ain't bonded, he can't be here. Anybody in here that is a part of the case has to have a bond, just in case for any form of liability that may take place, right? So I motion for all of those things. Now, here's the thing about when it comes to the court. Like, once you make a motion to something, the judge has to have a hearing for those motions. And now, whether they deny or accept, whatever the case may be, but they do have to say something. They didn't say a damn thing. So I made sure that I sent all of that in and let them know, like, hey, I made motions. I asked for certain things. You never gave those things to me for my evidence. I need them now for my civil claim. Made another motion, right? Even though the case, I still wanted to get them. Freedom of Information Act. You think they sent them to me? Do y'all think they sent them to me? That's the question. Yes or no? Y'all think they sent them to me? Tell me what y'all think out there. No, they did not. Somebody said no. No, they did not. They didn't send it to me. So what I did was I took it upon myself and I sent a letter to the Attorney General stating that, hey, I requested the Freedom of Information Act according to the United States law and the state of Alabama law as well. And I also have a right to this public information due to this particular case and my interest that I'm going to have and involved into this case. I need what I need. And this is what happens, right? Okay? Yeah, the sun gonna shine. That is my song. All right, so literally, when this happened, and I'm just like, you know, hey, they know what's finna happen. They know for a fact that I got them dead to right to sue in every shape, form, or fashion. And they will not send to me what I'm asking for. I said, okay. Don't worry about it. See, because I play the game to where I know the police don't like to be policed, and et cetera. And all I got to do is give the internal affairs a tip and let them know about all of their inclusive actions that they're taking. That is violating the law. Once I send that, it's on. It's on and popping. They're going to be investigated for it's over with. And I know that. But I also understand that I ain't the type of person they want to run into every time either. Because again, guys, like I keep telling y'all, I'm not going to do all that hooping and holler, and I'm not going to say you don't have the right to do this or you don't have to do that. Man, do what you feel like you need to do. I'm calm. I'll speak nicely to them. Matter of fact, I shook all those officers' hand and looked at them all in their face and just smiled. All 3 cases dismissed. Get out of here. I bet they said, hey, don't pull that guy over again. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Because I don't know. I just don't fall for the bullshit, man. And they had one guy. He came up. He wasn't even the officer that stopped me, right? It was somebody else, and he came up there and he was like, "Yo, you." The other guy was ready to let us go. So he literally, now you got to remind you, like I got, I wear jewelry and shit, like, right. So. And know what they think about when they see people like myself. And I think I had I was dressed up that night. Me and my son was about to head to a lounge and go kick it or whatever. So, as they say, I put that shit on that night, right? So I had on a few bracelets, rings, chains, stuff like that. Just, dressed up. And the first thing they thought was, he sells drugs or he got some drugs, bro. You think the way I'm riding, I'm gonna move like that with y'all out here? I don't even do that shit. So with that being said, that's what they thought. So they wanted to, the whole point of them towing my car was to do what they call an inventory search, right? And they use this inventory search to do a search, which I also told them that violates that violates the 4th Amendment right, yo. You don't got a warrant here. And I know for a fact that you wanted to take my car to see if you could find something, and you didn't find a damn thing. Nothing. So they know I had them in the headlock. I got them fully in the headlock. It's over with. But again, they all stick together in the way that they do. And they try to make sure that they hold that type of stuff against you. And, make sure that they stick together and don't give away information about others, etc. Try to protect each other. But one thing about it is I know how to get that information, because what I can do is once I do this civil suit, and then I request those documents in the civil suit, in the discovery, and you have to bring them to court now. Because if you don't bring them, then now you're going to be in contempt of court. And then if you don't, you don't bring them, then I'm going to do a motion of admission with you admitting everything. Yeah, you're going to admit all of the guilt that you have. So I'm still going to win. Regardless. And this is why I tell y'all, I don't speak in theories. I just speak on the law. Because one thing I do know about people, human errors is a major thing. And when it comes to law, there cannot be any errors at all. None whatsoever. Guess what? In every single solitary case, there are errors every single time. Every time. It's just, are you knowledgeable enough about the errors? Which is also meaning if there's errors, there's a violation of due process of law every single time. they're going to mess up. They go through shit just like you do. Some of them on work and they know their wife getting banged out, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? They know that. Some of them just found out something they didn't want to find out. It's a lot. They stressed out, man, for real. All kind of shit be going on with these people. And then they come to work with a chip on their shoulder. And you think they're going to do and operate. And then not only that, I keep saying this, they got the first responders, the ones with the lowest IQ about the law. They're the first responders. They're the first ones on the scene. And you think that they're going to be accurate in due process of law? They don't even practice it. And they show you that every day that you hop on these social media sites and you see that they on here violating somebody else's law, right? Every single time. And that's why I say, like, you know, if I would have had that video, which I didn't have a video, but if I would have had a video, then you would have had somebody on here from YouTube or whatever saying something stupid like, oh, here goes a sovereign citizen. Thank you for the rose. Here goes a sovereign citizen and his car was taken from him. And then you would have all kind of people comment on the bottom of it. And then I wish that's why I say, if they ever try to do me like that, I'm going to be right up under there like, boom, case dismissed. Here you go. I'm going to do what they call a reaction to your video, showing you all these cases dismissed. Now, what y'all say again? Because I don't operate on theories. I keep telling y'all, if you can't show it to me in law, it don't exist. And that's how I move. That's what's going to always separate you from the sovereign citizen movement. Make sure that you have it in law all day long. Yeah, them is defamation lawsuits. See, I like the way you think, for sure, because that's defamation. And I tell people that all the time. When they come on there talking crazy and saying anything, or you trying to, defame my character, or as they say, assassinate my character, or whatever the case may be, then, hey, I hit you with defamation. I don't care. Yeah, you got freedom of speech. Everybody got freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want to say, but just be careful what you do say, because it can and will get you in trouble. Straight up. Especially if it's not true, especially if it causing harm to someone or their business, etc. Then guess what? Lawsuit. So y'all just keep on freely putting up this stuff. Journalists get sued a lot by stuff that they say. Yeah. That's why you have to use words like allegedly, things of that nature. Because if you speak on things as if they're just a mere fact and you know that you saying that you know that you know about this particular individual, right? Yeah. Stand on that then. Defamation of character all day long. And that's a real thing. But I just want y'all to be aware, man, like, these people are on power struggles all day long, and they're always going to operate in that manner. They put on a badge and realize, because they know wearing the badge gives them a certain leverage over you. That's the reason why the guy said, let us do what we think is right. And that's what I do. I don't argue with them, man. I'm going to let you do whatever you feel like you think is right. All rights reserved. Right? And all you got to do is stop saying that I'm not going to show you my ID. Just ask a question. Just literally say, hey, if I don't give you if I don't identify myself to you, will I go to jail? They say yes. You say, okay, great. That's all I wanted to know. Now you're under duress. You're being coerced to do these things. So now just give them what they're asking for. It doesn't matter because now it's already out the door. It's out, they violating due process of law already. Because now you're under a form of detainment, which is false imprisonment. So now let's say they run your whole entire name, they don't find anything, and they let you go freely. You got a freaking lawsuit on your hand for false imprisonment. And that happens more than you think daily. It's probably happening to somebody right now as we sitting here speaking. How many of y'all right now have been in a situation where they ran your name, did everything, and then you just went home? Nothing happened. Same as if they pull you over, they come up and they run your name, they do all of this different type of stuff and then say, hey, you have a nice day. That's a lawsuit. A full lawsuit, family. Any type of pat down or anything like that, that's a form of a search. And you can even consider it sexual harassment. You touching all on my body and stuff. Sexual harassment. He sexually harassed me, touching all on me and stuff. For what reason? I haven't shown a threat to you. I haven't done anything to you in any shape, form, or fashion. There's no crime here, and you let me go. You sexually harassed me. I just went through full sexual harassment. Your name is your private property. They also damn near have to, unless you're in a crime. If they don't have a crime for you, right? If they don't have a crime, they ran your name and they did all of that type of stuff and they did it without a warrant. That means they never had a probable cause in the first place. False imprisonment, you got a lawsuit. Sovereign citizen is a myth. It does not exist. A citizen can never be sovereign because it is subject to the law. That's a fact. That's just like if they say, oh, I smell marijuana. And then they get the dog to come and then they search your car and they do all of that stuff and they don't find nothing and they have to tell you to have a good night. You got a lawsuit on your hands. They just violated all of your rights. They didn't find anything. I keep telling you they have to articulate with reason. Right? It has to be a reasonable cause here. They have to have a probable cause. And then everything that they do, when the prosecutor comes, they have to do everything without a reasonable doubt, meaning they know for a fact. They have all the evidence that it is to bring you into court and charge you for something. And then in the midst of that, if they dismiss that case, it's malicious prosecution because they know damn well they didn't have the evidence in the first place. I just seen an individual who's been in jail for like 16 freaking years and he just was released. All because they didn't have no evidence. Bro, you didn't have the damn evidence in the first place. None. Now they just restricted my your live contains things that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, regulated goods content. Oh, somebody reporting us. Why do y'all get mad when we do this, man? What makes y'all so upset that when we talk about the law and then y'all get on here trying to hate, doing all that hating? They locked me up in Harris County holding cell for 2 hours and let me go. I questioned them what was the probable cause, reasonable suspicion, or warrant signed by Article 3 judge. I challenged DA, all crimes are commercial. I do not consent to violate my rights. They let me go without even an incident number. Did they make you sign anything to release on bond on your own cognizance? Did they do that? Or they just straight up let you walk up out of there? Can you tender a payment in court? It's an instrument of payment. Yeah, but I ain't tendering shit that I ain't guilty for. I'm not doing none of that. Not giving nothing. Prove it. Nothing. They ain't do nothing. Y'all, you got a lawsuit, bro. You got a full lawsuit. If they ain't do nothing at all. Man, I won't care about those agents. But anyway, man, I've been on here long enough with you guys tonight, man. I hope you guys appreciate the podcast tonight. We're going to always be here. I try to do it by 10. I'm at 9, between 9 and 10 p.m. on Central Time. So I know it's a little later in other places, no matter where you guys at, but you are more than welcome to be here with us. Do not forget about the Declaration of Trust class, guys. Go to www.ingodwetrustacademy.com. Sign up for the Declaration of Trust class. We're going to show you how to fully set up your the trust with the Declaration of Trust and how to convey all of your assets and, literally protect everything that you have, right? You want to make sure that you do that. It's just $50. You're not going to be able to do this anywhere else for $50. Showing you what to do with a full trust. So if you're a beginner in this and you want this information, I'm going to give you everything, right? It's going to be your duty to sit down after we taught you and everything like that. What type of trust is this? It's any type of trust you want it to be. It's up to you. I'm just going to show you what you're supposed to do. I don't tell people what type of trust because they can do any type of trust. You can do a revocable. You can do an irrevocable trust. Totally up to you. However you may choose. But that's why it's called estate and planning, because what's your plan? Everybody got a different plan on how they want to do stuff. You might set up 2 trusts. You might make one revocable and make it more easier to move things around. But if you make it revocable, just know the grantor still has rights and interests into those assets, which means that, well, third parties can come after you. The IRS still can come and levy its property and stuff like that, right? That still can happen to you. But if you operate in an irrevocable trust, then that means that certain things can belong to the actual trust, and the grantor no longer has any rights to the property. All of the assets fully belong now to the actual trust. And if you do that, as we explained the last time, well, we can stop child support, all kind of bullshit they be trying to do. Yeah. Which is illegal. Child support is illegal. But it's only illegal if you do not consent to it. But if you consent to it, and what I mean by do not consent, you can't say, I don't consent to this. No, you have to assert the right, meaning that you have to prove the fraud in it. So, and the fraud in it is that the Child Support Enforcement Agency is under contract in Title 4D with the court, prosecutor, with the actual sheriff, with the actual anybody. And if they're getting paid from it, there you go. What if you have a 9A trust? Okay, just because you have, but see, you're not making sense. A 9A trust, can you put that revocable trust into a 9A trust? You can put any trust into a trust. And just because it say 9A, it doesn't make it special. 9A trust with, and just say foreign, because they don't even use 9A anymore. All the 9A numbers are gone. There's so many people out there. It can only be a 9A for so long. That's another thing. So, yeah, they actually start using a different number than 9A. But just say foreign trust is what you're trying to say. But you can put any trust into a foreign trust. So, but my whole entire point is it's all about how and what you want to do. How do you want to operate? Literally. But y'all have a great and beautiful night. I am out of here.
Yeah. I'm if you tell you about life. I'm on my journey. my journey. Nothing can hurt me. Can't hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing can stop it. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see it from afar, enemy lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto.